Why do people eat lobsters? When I was a kid, I ate them because they were plentiful and tasted good. When I wasn't up with my grandparents in the woods, I was often by the ocean. My mom grew up by the sea and many of the family and friends had fishing boats. We got free lobster bodies from the restaurants who only used the big claws and tail. My cousins would give us the losers, single claw lobsters. Even as a small kid, I knew where to find every single morsel of yumminess. I love eating lobster. Not only is it delicious, it is linked with many happy memories. We cooked them at home too, and I can say hand on heart not one ever suffered pain. There is a way to prepare them so they don't, and it's fast, simple, and easy. I'm not in the habit of torturing things I am about to eat. I was taught to be grateful for them and the sacrifice of their life. Now, before I am called cruel for eating one of these, a lobster is an arthropod. It is more like an insect than an animal. I don't mean in the specific sense. Yes, it's an animal, but please understand I am using general terms here. It has a small brain and there is no evidence at all that it has any kind of consciousness other than instinct. If any one of you has ever put down bug spray, or swatted an insect, you too have killed an arthropod, yet you did it for no greater reason than your own comfort. Where at least for me it didn't go to waste, well, not right off at least, and several human beings made an honest living off selling it to me. Glass houses and stones come to mind. If you kill an insect, you are killing a creature with the same brain as a lobster. So, at least eat the thing. We are told that good protein comes from arthropods, so, if I have to choose between a cockroach, a scorpion or a lobster, I choose lobster. I eat lobsters because it was a local food, not a delicacy but a meal, where my mom's family is from, and I was raised to enjoy it as yet another gift in the world for which I should be grateful. P.S. If someone is keeping a lobster live for weeks in a tank in a restaurant, I wouldn't eat lobster there. They are best when freshly caught, even if that means the tail vein is dark. They are food. We eat food. When we enjoy the food we eat, we want more. I enjoy lobster, I want more, but price is not inexpensive, so it is not my normal go-to meals. Not to mention they don't do well sitting in a pantry or sitting in a fridge long term. Point being, lobster for dinner can be a special trip out to the store. As to the comment about lobsters eating each other in the tank, you see those rubber bands around their claws, it's so they can't grab, attack and eat other lobsters. They are not eating each other in the tanks. Weeks or months in a tank? I would hope not. Where I shop they are sold pretty regularly, no way are they hanging around that long. Zinc, B12, phosphorus, magnesium, and omega-3s, but not much in the way of cholesterol or saturated fat unless you slop a ton of butter on it. Also, they taste good, somewhere between crab and shrimp, but sweeter. That said, for heaven's sake, pit them before you throw them in the pot. Interestingly enough, lobsters used to be considered subsistence food, as in, prison chow, because they're scavenging bugs. As someone who's knowingly eaten termites, moths, caterpillars, crickets, grasshoppers, aphids, and mealworms, I'm disinclined to be squicked by any bug impression. I would like to meet the first person to try lobster. Imagine how godawful hungry you would have to be to grab one of those and bring it home for supper. Having said that, my mom's family ate them back in the 40s when it was considered poor people food. Kids would try to exchange their lobster sandwiches for peanut butter ones at school. Fast forward a couple of decades to the 70s and lobster is an expensive treat, usually reserved for special occasions. Personally, I have been eating lobster all my life and it's one of my absolute favorite foods. Because there's no lobster in The Little Mermaid, only Sebastian the crab and Flounder the fish. So to not feel guilty and eat the adorable creatures that sing and dance, people choose lobster instead. Also, that's why it's so expensive. I'm kidding, of course. But why do people choose to eat something? Is usually because it's good or it's cheaper, more available, and easily accessible. Sometimes for status or appearances. There's many reasons why people choose to eat, insert food name, in this case lobster.